Hello everyone. This is the 7th part of our SriRudram inner meaning videos. In this video we will go through Anuvaka 2. But before we start, I just want to say something. Whatever we discuss here, whatever is being explained in these videos, it is all based on the discourses. So in the very first video I explained, I'm going to reiterate that just to make sure everybody understands that it is coming out of those discourses, whatever we are discussing here. So if you see, there were three eminent scholars, I will list out there. Sri Abhinava Shankara, Sri Bhaskar Bhatta Mishra and Sri Sainacharya. These three were in 10th, 11th and 12th centuries, and these three were eminent scholars, and they wrote a lot of commentaries or bhashyas on Vedas, especially on Rudram-Namakam and Chamakam. So whatever they wrote, the current age spiritual orators or scholars today, whatever the discourses we listen to, there are multiple people like that, orators like that. I primarily followed whatever being explained by Sri Samavedam Shanmukha Sarma, Sri Sundara Chaitanyananda Swami, Sri Yellamraju Srinivasa Rao, Sri Sivananda Murthy, Sri Sarvapriyananda, Sri Garikapati Narasimha Rao, and Sri Chaganti Koteshwara Rao. So all these people, they are experts in Sanskrit. So all these spiritual orators, they studied those commentaries or bhashyas, and they use them in their discourses. So whatever the examples we use here, whatever is being explained here, it is all based on these discourses, and these discourses are based on the bhashyas. So that is the first thing I just wanted to say. And in this Anuvaka, second Anuvaka, in the first Anuvaka, we explained how we surrender to Ishvara, and we kind of visualized a glorified form of Ishvara, all that we did in first Anuvaka. So from the second Anuvaka to almost 8th or 9th Anuvaka, it all talks about Ishvara's Sarveswaratvam, that means the omnipotence quality, and Sarvatmakatvam, that is how he is inner controller in this whole Jagat, inside everything, everyone. So second Anuvaka mostly starts with that, and let us focus on second Anuvaka today. And also in the second Anuvaka, you will see Namaha Namaha on both sides. That is called Ubhayato Namaskara. One is Anyato Namaskara, only one time it comes, and Ubhayato Namaskara. In this Anuvaka, you will see Namaha Namaha on both sides of it. And also these are called as Yajus. Actually, in a lot of mantras in Vedas, we can classify them as Ruks, Yajus and Samas. So in all four Vedas, you see all these type of mantras. So let's not go into those details. But second Anuvaka is all Yajus. First Anuvaka is all Ruk. So let us go through the first Anuvaka. So the first verse in the first Anuvaka is Namo Hiranya Bahave Senanye Disancha Pataye Namo. So Namo Hiranya Bahave Senanye Disancha Pataye Namo. That is the first one. So here what we are saying is Hiranya Bahave means the one with golden hands. Salutations to Ishvara with golden hands. Senanye, the salutations to Ishvara, who is the chief of armies, who is the leader of armies. And Disancha Pataye Namo, the salutations to Ishvara, who is the leader of all directions. So let us try to understand the inner meaning of all this. So golden hands means Ishvara is giving us, basically. So whenever we as Jivas, we always seek something from Ishvara. We are always seeking something from him. We are like this and he is like this, basically. So his hands are golden hands. Okay, that is one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is Hiranya Bahave means, in Sanskrit, if you see, there are two words, Hiranyam, Ramyam. Okay, Hiranyam, Ramyam, that is together it is called as Hiranyam. Hitam, actually, sorry about that. The two words are Hitam, Ramyam. Together Hiramyam, but it is used as Hiranyam also. So Hitam is what beneficial, right? Ramyam is what gives us pleasure or something like that. A good example is we all enjoy sweets, fatty food and all that. That gives us pleasure. That is like we all like. That is Ramyam. But Hitam is that is not good for our health. If doctor or someone says that hey, it is not good for your health, that is Hitam. Okay. So Ishvara is giving both Hitam and Ramyam. Okay, in our life we experience Hitam and Ramyam, but Ishvara is the one who will give something to us that is Hitam, which is beneficial, that is Ramyam also, that is what we like. And in fact, he is the only one who is both Hitam and Ramyam, because we always see him with that likeness, fondness, and we enjoy it, and then he is beneficial. We always see good things from him, right? So that is Hiranyam. Hiranya Bahave. See in Telugu also Annamaya, one of the poets in Telugu, he would there was a kirtana actually. Andariki abhayamichu ichu cheyi kanduvagu manchi bangaru cheyi. That means the Andariki abhayamichu means it will give boons, or it will give grace your hand, and your hand kanduvagu manchi bangaru cheyi means your hand will protect us basically. So he's also referring to bangaru cheyi means golden hand. Okay, that is one meaning. So Senanye. So Senanye is Sa Ina if you split it. Okay, Ina is again sun. Okay, and Sa is like rays actually we can say. So sun is the god who is giving all these sun rays to us, and because of those sun rays we are able to see all the directions also. Disancha pataye means all directions. So for example, if you see sun, so with sun we can figure out all 8 directions. We have 8 directions basically. First 4 directions are north, south, east, west, and then we have northeast, southeast, northwest, and southwest. So we call it as 8 directions in Sanatana Dharma, and we have Ashtadikpalakas also we say. Indra, Varuna, Kubera, Yama, all these are. So essentially all those are under sun we can say. So we already discussed that Ishvara, sun is nothing but the form of Ishvara. Ishvara is nothing but sun. That's how we. So Ishvara, sun is the one who is deciding the direction. See, if you go on a vacation somewhere and you don't know which side is north, which side is east, south, and west. Of course, these days we have mobile phones to do that. But based on the sunrise, you can figure out all directions. You know the sun is rising in the east side. This is east, west, south, north. This is northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. So what we are saying is Disancha Pataye Namaha. So hey, you are the, see if you see Namo Hiranya Bahave Senanye Disancha Pataye is essentially one way to look at it is all talking about sun also. Okay, because sun produces all these rays. Those are like his, we can call his army basically. He is the leader, right? He is the chief. So he is producing all the rays, and sometimes those rays are in gold color, sometimes those rays are in different colors, and then he is the one who is deciding all the directions. Because of him we are able to. So that is the first verse. So now let us look at the second verse. Namo vrukshebhyo harikesebhya pasunam pataye namaha. So here we are again giving salutations to Ishvara, who is in the form of trees. Vrukshebhyo is trees. Harikesebhya. Here we are referring to Ishvara. Hey, you are in the form of those green braided hair actually. So if you see a tree, right? If you see a huge tree, just visualize that tree in the form of Rudra, in the form of Ishvara, with all those branches and leaves as braids and long hair of Ishvara. So that is what reference is here. Pasunam pataye namaha. This is very important. We'll come back to it. So here, Vrukshebhyo means if you take any tree, right? The tree, it will, see, generally in our Sanatana Dharma, they compare tree with Ishvara, because if you see tree, it will give you, whether you ask or not, it continues to give you. Okay, under the tree you get shade, and you can pick a fruit from the tree and you can eat. Okay, tree will not say thank you, hey, thank you for eating my fruit. It will not say. Even if you don't eat fruit, it will not be like, oh, he's not eating my fruit. So it is in Telugu, it is called as stabdata. That means stillness. So Ishvara is also exactly like that. Ishvara is, he's not worried that you are doing all bad deeds. He's not worried. If we surrender to him, if we live the life of dharmic life, yes, we will get good deed, and that will, we will continue to use it in the future. But bad deed also, he won't stop us. Basically, he is not asking us not to do this. He told us, he clearly explained the dharmic life, dharma, and the whole set, niyati, and all the rules in Vedas. And if we do it, it's good for us. If we don't do it, it's bad for us. So that is vrukshebhyo. Harikesebhya is, the whole point here is, whenever we see any huge tree, visualize that in the form of Ishvara with braided long hair and all that. So that is, so, and trees, we already discussed that trees are also, it is not expecting anything from us, it gives everything. Ishvara, he is giving us ghoras, aghoras, irrespective of whether we worship him, whether we do all the rituals or not. He is not going to get impressed just because we are doing certain things. No. Okay. So that, now the next one is Pasuna. Okay, this is very important. Pasunam Pataye Namaha is, what is Pasu? Pasu is nothing but animal. We are all animals actually. Because when we say we are all animals, whatever the living being that takes birth, goes through the life cycle, and then dies, goes through the death, that living being is considered as animal. So including us. And another way is, we are all, see, animal is tied with a rope, right, or some kind of leash or whatever we can call. So that is pasan, we call it as. We also are tied with something, with pasa. That is nothing but bondage, attachment, limitation. So we are time bounded. Okay, so time bounded in the sense, like we have limited time in this janma. Okay, since our childhood, if we see, our body is changing, and as we grow older and older, it continues to change, and we are time bounded. So that means at some point this body will perish, this body will stop working. So that is time bounded. And when we say the body keeps changing, is because of prakriti. Basically, that's a nature, right? That is what. And the third thing, basically, what is stopping us? There are three hindrances. Basically, when we say pasu, pasa vimochini, pasu, pasu is with the bondage attachment, we said, right? And then we discussed about time bounded, and then the nature, basically. So there is a story, it seems, in one of the Purana, Shiva Purana maybe. So it seems Parvati will come to Lord Shiva, and she will ask, can you explain me what is knowledge? So Shiva will say that, I will explain in a very simple way. He will say, if you understand Pasu, Pasa, Pati, if you understand this, then that is nothing but knowledge, he says. So let us try to understand that. So we discussed about Pasu now. What is Pasu? Whatever the living being that has all these bondages or attachments or limitations. The limitations are time bounded and nature, changing, evolving. Pasa is nothing but this. Okay. Pati is leader. He is the Ishvara. Okay. So what are those pasas actually? We need to understand about those bondages. So I will list those bondages. In fact, in our earlier video, we discussed about other. I would say those are also limitations. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and then if you add Avidya and Abhimana to it, it will become 8. But in Shiva Agama tradition, they went a lot more deeper and they explained 8 more bondages or attachments or limitations. Those are pasas, we can call it. Those are the real hindrances for our spiritual progress. And if you go through each of them, we will understand how these are real hindrances, how we are bonded as an animal in this current life actually. And those are, I'm going to list them on the screen there. Gruna, that means hatred and disgust. That means because of we do not dislike someone, because of we hate someone, we will not be able to see divinity in all. On one hand, we will do Abhisheka, we are trying to learn Namakam, the inner meaning and all, and the whole point here is to see the divinity in all, see Ishvara in all. But personally, we may be hating someone, and because of that, we may not be able to see divinity. That is one hindrance. The second hindrance is Lajja, which is called shame or false modesty. False modesty is it is like not being humble. Okay, we most of us try to get fame or recognition. We say that yes, but behind inside our mind, we still want that fame or recognition or whatever. That is lajja or shame, false modesty. Bhaya, fear. Because of fear, sometimes we will not be able to make spiritual progress. The bhaya or fear can be losing someone, losing money, losing fame, losing job. The list goes on. Okay. The next 3 are so important, and we see that in the current age, in the current society. Kula, Jati, Varna. I don't have to explain. We all are tied with these attachments. That is the biggest bondage we all have is Kula, Jati and Varna. Because we always say this person belongs to my society or my Varna or my Kula or my Jati. And even in US we see that. The next one is, I don't want to go deep into those 3, but you understand what I'm saying. Those are the I would say those are the strongest bondages, pasas that we are tied. And next one is asa, which is desire, expectation, and mana, pride, ego and arrogance. So if you see, all of them are nothing but avidya. Avidya is nothing but ignorance. So time, avidya and prakriti, which is nature. These 3 are hindrances for our progress. So that means if we remove the bond, that is nothing but Pasupati. We realize, that is the self-realization. That is nothing but Ishvara, Pasupatis. So he is the leader of all Pasus, right? But we are stuck with these pasas. So who put that pasa on us? We'll have to understand. In fact, Ishvara put that pasa on us because of our karmas, basically. Purva Janma karmas, the past life, whatever we discussed about prarabdha karmas, sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, right? Those he tied. And when will he untie those? He will see our spiritual progress. If we are stuck with these 8 pasas, some of them pasas are very strong, we discussed, right? He will keep noticing us how we are progressing in terms of our whatever the path we choose, karma path, upasana path or dhyana path, whatever. We may be stuck with few strong bondages or attachments. So Ishvara will untie few knots slowly based on our spiritual progress. On one day, he will untie that whole knot, he will remove that pasa. That is nothing but liberation. So that is Pasu Pasa Pati. That is the knowledge basically. We need to have that knowledge. Okay. Without this knowledge, we will not be able to come out of these bondages, and that is that those bondages are nothing but avidya, which is nothing but ignorance. The three we discussed, that is nothing but ignorance. That kula, varna, and jati, though that is nothing but ignorance. So that is about the second anuvaka. Sorry, second verse. So let us go to the third verse. Namo saspinjaraya tvishimate padinam pataye namo. So here saspinjaraya means the one in red and yellow color, and tvishimate means that is the one that is glowing. So here what we are saying is, again indirectly we are kind of referring to sun, because red and yellow color are we discussed last time. In the early morning we see those colors when there is sunrise, and red indicates strength actually, okay, and yellow indicates wisdom. So that indicates that is nothing but sarvatmakatvam, sarvasiktimatvam, sarvajnatvam. Okay, so and Kvishimate is glowing, highly illuminated. Okay, again sun we can take, or Ishvara. Okay, and Padinam is he is showing all the paths to us. He is the one who is guiding us, or he is showing the paths. So one way to look at it is, again, if we interpret that purely from the perspective of sun has those red and yellow colors during sunrise, and then he is very bright during the day, and because of sun only we are able to see all our paths, all whatever wherever we go and all that. That is one way to look at it. The other way to look at Padinam is, see, think about it, right? See, if you see this solar system, right? Earth rotates in its own orbit, path. Who created that path? Who created that whole solar system and all those paths and all? Pathinam Pataye Namaha means, hey, you are the chief of all these paths. You are the controller of all these paths. Whether we agree it or not, if you go deep into Vedas, it provides so much cosmic knowledge. Whatever we read in the current age astronomy, all those are one way or the other way, those are described in our Vedas. So we need to accept that a lot of details are provided in our Vedas. So that is one way to look at paths. The other way to look at paths is, in Sanatana Dharma we discussed there are multiple paths. We discussed multiple times: karma, upasana, jnana. And he is the one who provided these paths. He is the one who provided means Vedas came from Ishvara. Vedas are, they say Vedas are utterances of Ishvara. Within Vedas only it provides all these three paths of karma, upasana and jnana. Based on the spiritual seeker need, anybody can pick whatever the path they want. That is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. And in each path we can see a very good example. And in one path you can see Annamaya, Tyagaraju, Ramadasu, these people like that. And in another path you can see Swami Vivekananda and Ramana Maharshi and such people. And in then you can find some people who are both, like for example Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, if you take, he was an ardent devotee of Kali and he was doing a lot of upasana, and he is self-realized soul, and he has that jnana also. So like that, in each of these paths we can find great examples and role models for us. So Ishvara is providing all these paths. That is the meaning of this, internal meaning. Let us go to the next one. Namo Bhabrusaya Vivyadhine Annanam Pataye Namaha. Here Bhabrusaya Vivyadhine Annanam Pataye Namaha. So here Bhabru means Vrishabha, which is bull. Okay, when you go to any Shiva temple, you see a huge bull in front of that Shivalinga outside, just constantly looking at that, right? That indicates, what does it indicate? That Nandi or Bhabru or Vrishabha indicates, it is the symbolic meaning of that is dharma. Okay, Bhabru means dharma basically. So when we go to temple, why do we try to see the Shivalinga? We put hands and try to see. All our focus is, do I do it from the right side or left side? But the real meaning we have to understand is, when we see Ishvara through that Nandi, whatever, if you put our hand and see it like that, through that indicates we have to see Ishvara through dharma. That means our life should be dharmic life. We should have that righteousness. If we have that, we have to have that righteousness to see Ishvara. That is the inner meaning. Okay. So Vivyadhine Bhablusa means the one that is riding on the Nandi. So if you see that Nandi is constantly looking at Ishvara, and when Lord Shiva wants to go somewhere, he rides on that Nandi only. That means Ishvara is riding on dharma. So whenever we talked about that niyati, right, whatever the niyati, the order that he is implementing, that he is doing that based on dharma. That is the significance of Nandi. Vivyadhine means riding on the dharma. He is punishing. Vivyadhine means punishing. Punishing means he is giving ghoras, obviously. So, and Annana means he is giving aghoras to the one who are following. So Annana means food actually. Anna means food. But Annana means he is giving food all our Indriyas need food. So it's not, the food means, doesn't mean that it's just whatever you eat. See, when we see something with our eyes, for eye, whatever we see is food. When we listen to something, for our ears, that is the food. When we smell something, for nose, that is the food. So all our Indriyas need food. So he is giving that. So that is why he is called as Bhablusaya Vivyadhine Nanam Pataye Namaha. That is the meaning of that verse. Let us go to the next verse. Namo Harikesaya Upavitine Pushthanam Pataye Namaha. So Harikesaya means the one with I have grey hair now, but when I was young I had thick black hair. So Harikesaya means Ishvara is considered as eternally young. So that means young people will have all the thick, shiny black hair. Harikesaya is nothing but that. So basically here we are referring to, hey Ishvara, you are eternally young. You are forever young. So that is how we are glorifying him. Upavitine Pushthanam Pataye Namaha. Let us go through. Upavitine is, I will explain, but we will go into details in a minute. Upavitine is, we are referring to Ishvara, hey, you are wearing that Upavitam, the sacred thread, and your sacred thread is Sahaja. That means it's not based on your samskara or based on your profession or work, you did not get anything. You have that, and using that you are doing this whole yajna. Yajna in a sense, setting the whole niyati, that order. Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. Pushtana means he is the one who is giving us lot of pushtis. Pushti means the quality in abundance. Okay, if you see, I list out those pushtis. There are 10 pushtis actually. We all need those pushtis. We all seek those pushtis all the time. Vak pushti, which is speech. Gnana, which is knowledge. Sarira Indriya pushti, which is strong body and sense organs. Gruha pushti, which is house, a roof to live under. Dhanadhanya pushti, wealth and food. Praja Parivara pushti, family, friends and society. Pasu pushti, cattle. Go pushti, cows. Dharma pushti, which is righteousness. Animadya Ashtasiddhi pushti, which is spiritual progress. So here what we are saying is, Pushthanam Pataye Namaha means, hey, you are the chief. You have all these 10 pushtis in abundance. Nobody else, if you remember in one of the videos we discussed about the opulences that Ishvara has. That is why he is referred to as Bhagavan, right? Same thing here also. Here we are referring to Pushtana Patemat. Hey, Ishvara, salutations to you. You have these 10 pushtis in abundance. And you are giving us those pushtis. See, whatever we have today, it could be Vak Pushi, the reason we are able to talk, the reason we are able to discuss something, interpret something, understand something, that is Gnana Pushti. And Sharira Indriya Pushti is, yes, we, because of this Indriya Pushti only, we are able to do everything. Whatever these Gnani Indriyas or whatever these Karma Indriyas. And we discussed all those 10 pranas, upapranas, and the main life force, and the sense organs, motor organs, and the inner organ. All these are we need to have strong, and it should be very strong. Gruha Pushti is house. Yes, you have to give us this Gruha Pushti. And Dhanadhanya Pushti, wealth and food. Praja Parivara Pushti, need to have a good family, good friends, and then the society should be good. There should be harmony in the society. Pasu Pushti, all the cattle, like whatever, all the other living beings, and Go Pushti specifically because in Sanatana Dharma we have a we give respect to cows, and we treat cows very holy. So that is why we have Go Pushti. Dharma Pushti, righteousness means we need to have that righteousness also. That is another Pushti that we need to get from him. Animadya Ashtasiddhi Pushti is the spiritual progress. So here what we are asking Ishvara, seeking Ishvara is, hey, you are the chief and you have all these pushtis, please grant us those pushtis also. That is one way to see this. And another way is, see, we have these pushtis not in abundance, but some of these pushtis here and there. So if you see, we are nothing but, we inherited all these pushtis from our father, who is nothing but Ishvara. That's how you should look at it. We should look at it. Sorry. So that is Pushtana. Now let us come to Upavitine. Okay, this is very important. Upavitine Pushtana Patena means, Upavitine means, we discussed, he is the one with a sacred that is naturally came to him. Naturally, in the sense, see, in the current day society, when somebody is wearing Upavita, it is based on the samskara. So in Skanda Purana, it was explained that Janmana Jayate is Sudra. So that means no, everybody is Sudra by birth. Even in Bhagavad Gita also, I think in chapter 4, 13th verse, Lord Krishna also explains the same. So we all are same by birth. But based on our samskaras, based on our qualities, based on our work we do, qualities, profession we do, we will be referred to something. And that is one thing. The other thing is, we have to see is, Upavitam means it's not just the sacred thread. So the way we have to see is, see, in our society there are several professions, and in subsequent verses and anuvakas we will see, it will explain that we have to see Ishvara in all these professions, because see, the whole idea is, whatever the knowledge, whatever the skill, whatever IQ you call it, whatever the jnana you call it, whatever the spark we have inside us, that is nothing but Ishvara actually. So here, Upavitam is based on the profession, whatever they are wearing, that is Upavitam. It's not just sacred thread and it's only one particular category of people and all. No, it's not that. Because their profession, their kind of work is doing yagna, chanting. Yes, some people will wear that sacred thread and they will have to follow certain guidelines, rules and all that. That is one thing. But think about other professions, right? A doctor. A doctor has to wear white coat and a stethoscope. That is his Upavita. Policeman, he has to wear a uniform and carry certain gear. That is his Upavita. Carpenter, He may be carrying something. Look at tailor. He needs to have a measuring tape all the time. Some of the tailor, they put it on around their neck. That is their upavita. Pottery person. You take any profession. In any profession, they may have to carry something that will become their upavita. And if you see some musicians, right? Somebody may be playing a guitar, somebody may be playing a tabla. That is their upavita. If somebody is singing, whatever the voice, God gifted voice, that is their upavita. So all these upavitas are given by again Ishvara. So we are seeking that whatever the pushti you gave us and whatever the upavita we are wearing because of you, and we seek grace from you. That is the inner meaning of upavita. And in fact, if we want to go a little deeper, the real upavita is mind. Because mind is the one that is making us do everything. Mind is, again, we have to see that whole inner organ, mind, intellect, ego and memory, right? That is the real upavita. That is driving us to do any good, bad. That is creating the real samskara actually. Not just by wearing this thread or wearing some other upavita is not doing that. Basically, our mind is the real upavita. So that is the inner meaning of that verse. So I will stop at this point. So we will continue in the next video. So hope this video helps you. Thank you.